Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite food review show on the internet. This is, in fact, Diner Dash. This is our latest episode. I apologize for any loud noise. We're right by the road. But we are checking out the Apple Market Deli today. So the Apple Market is a local hole-in-the-wall like grocery store near us. But the rumor is that their deli is incredible. I actually have heard people say this for years and years, ever since I was really little, and we got recommended this place from Lemur's dad. So shout out there. But yeah, as always, we rate on a 5-star scale. So 1 to 5. We rate the vibes of the place. We rate the value of the place. We rate the food. We also rate the service quality, and then somebody checks out a bathroom and gives that a rating as well. So overall, you can get like an average of everything and figure out, how good of a place, what the final score for a place is. I'm sorry, I'm losing my brain here. But as always, we've got Lemur. Before we go in, we like to check out some reviews. So Lemur's going to pull up a 5-star review, and then he's also going to pull up a 1-star review, so we kind of get the full range of what people are saying here. So I'll let you take over here, Lemur. What you got for the 5-star review for us?
All right. I love neighborhood markets and supporting locally owned businesses.
Okay.
The Apple Market has been operating for 27 years, a fixture of the scenic highway. They have a wonderful meat market, fresh produce, craft coffees, and a full-service deli with dinner specials, salads, and desserts.
Okay.
Not to mention a sushi bar with a chef on premises to make whatever you like.
Dang, I like the sound of
That's
this.
impressive. The community is important at Apple Market, and they pay tribute by highlighting local artists on the walls, on displays that are all for sale.
Okay.
The Apple Market has it all covered for whatever you need.
Dang. Okay, so right out the gate, it sounded pretty bougie. I didn't know about the sushi thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dang, I like me some sushi. We'll have to see. And then what do you got for a 1-star review for us?
All right. For a 1-star review, a local guide has this to say. It's a long paragraph, so I might cut and paste a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see, maybe
Oh
not.
boy.
I went there one day, and the reason why I'm giving it a 1 is because it was a black man that was. Oh,
Whoa.
no, okay.
Whoa.
No, you know what? We're gonna go for something that's not racially charged, okay?
No, bro, fully. No.
Okay. Someone else has this to say.
My man's is tweaking. Oh, bro, 1800s. Golly.
Someone else has this to say, okay?
Pause. Hold on. Let me clarify to all my friends and fans out there. We here at Giraffe Attack, I myself, K-Man Raps, and the Lemur himself, these reviews do not reflect the views and beliefs of those who work on this show or for this company. We are just giving you what the public is saying. I do apologize.
Literally just reading other people's reviews verbatim. That
We'll give you our review
it's
at
not
the
us.
end.
It's not
we'll
us.
give you our review at the end.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to say I don't care who makes my food.
Yeah. Okay.
To a degree. Anyways.
Okay. So someone else has this to say for a 1-star
we
review.
should really read these beforehand, maybe, but it also adds to the excitement. Anyways.
Okay, quit interrupting me. Let's go.
Sorry.
Don't go to Apple Market if you don't want to eat expired or gross food. They regularly use expired dairy products in the kitchen. Dairy date checks, which get done maybe once a month, sometimes longer, always go through screening in the cold kitchen, and they just pick out the most usable items, out-of-date milks, month-to-year out-of-date cheeses, sour creams, and more. They put in whatever they can to squeeze a profit out of it, since it did not sell on the shelf. Never get the fruit and cheese trays if you don't have interest in eating mold. Half of the fruit is whatever they can pick out of moldy fruit no one bought off the shelf, and the cheese is almost always out of date. They mark down what they can, and what they don't just get eaten by unsuspecting customers. For the love of not getting sick, don't get catering from there, and don't eat from the hot bar.
Okay. Sounds like a lovely time. I've heard nothing but good things about this place from people that I trust. But it's nice to get the full range of views here regarding this place, as far as like, it's incredible, it's terrible, I'm a racist, this. So yeah. All right then. Well, shall we go and test out the Apple Market Deli?
I see no reason why not.
Alrighty, we will get back with you guys in a few. Peace. Hey guys, so we're back. We just got back from the Apple Market. Over the course of me talking, I will put up some pictures of it. What are your initial thoughts, Mr. Lemur?
It looks like a humble country shop, but it has everything.
It does. It has a lot. It's for the size, it's bigger than you expect it to be. I will say that. They got a nice little meat section. Here's a photo of like their deli / like hot bar area that I got. They really had everything. I mean, it is a grocery store, so I don't really know like what I was necessarily expecting, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, I would say.
I mean, with a name like the Apple Market, like, you want to expect it to have like a whole bunch of like international stuff, or like some like the really high end like fancy cheeses and meats.
I will say that yes, it was impressive that they had like the boar's head meats and stuff, which are like the more fancy meats. They had a lot for what we went in expecting. I mean, I guess you already technically kind of said that, but based off just kind of the overall like vibe of the restaurant, it's not even a restaurant. I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'm losing my brain over here. Based on the whole vibes, what are you gonna give it for vibes? Because we rate this on a scale, which I'll have you pull up your calculator actually, so we can keep track here. I didn't even think about that. I should have. But as far as like vibes go, what are your thoughts? Your overall thoughts on the vibes, and what are you ranking it?
I would say that for vibes, I would give it a 4.5.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
It's just kind of got a friendly, cozy sort of feeling to it,
Okay. Yeah.
But it's got like a bunch of like vintage stuff and like a lot of like old wood decorating, like like vintage scales and like soda machines or whatever. Yada yada.
I'm a sucker for like just random like grocery store like environments. I don't know if that makes sense. It's weird. It's like a liminal space, but it's also not a liminal space. It's weird. I don't know. I love like weird, just rundown grocery places. Not that this place was like run down or anything, but if there's a janky, sketchy looking like grocery store, I'm all about like going in and just maybe getting a disease or something. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird vibe that I like. There's a really sketchy one on the way to your house that I stopped at one time. It was kind of interesting. But no, like the vibes, it is a very welcoming place. You don't necessarily like, it doesn't feel like they don't want you there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because some places you go and like nobody's there, and like it feels like they don't even want you in the store. So you gave it a 4.5. I will say it wasn't necessarily anything like, there wasn't anything crazy unique about it as far as like to separate it from, like, I feel like I could find another place like that. So I would give it a 4 personally for me. So 4 to 4.5. So that puts it at a 4.25 on the vibe scale. It gets a 4.25. That's not bad. Oh, well, Actually, because I forgot that this was a 1 to 5 scale. So I'm actually going to go back on that. I'm going to give it a 3.5. So it'll get a 4.
Okay.
It'll just get a 4. So it has good vibes, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this place is like so crazy. Like, it was, but there wasn't any bad vibes. As far as what should we do next? Let's go service. Service wise, what are you thinking? What are you saying? Elaborating? What are you rating?
Jeez. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You go first.
Okay. So for service wise, I am taking into account that this isn't a restaurant. So you're not like fully expecting someone to be like checking in on you every 5 seconds, like, hey, do you need a refill? Or hey, what can we do for you? I will say, I don't know if he was the manager, but there was a man wandering around who was dressed a little bit nicer than everyone else. And I think he might have been the manager because I think he didn't understand that you and I were there to just get like food. And so he kept like seeing me and like, you boys okay? Do y'all need help finding anything? And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm just waiting on him to get out of the restroom or whatever. Like, but so I will say that was like nice that he was like readily, like always somewhere there was somebody who was like, hey, do you need help finding anything? I will say, nobody was really like, apart from him, none of the people working like the deli or anything were really like, they didn't seem like they were going out of their way necessarily like to help us. Like, kind of like, that's just me personally. Like, we stood up there. Yes, we were in like a small line, but like, I feel like usually people, like, I work at a grocery store, and usually people are like fairly engaging with you, where it's like, oh, hey, we'll be with you in a moment, or like, hey, how are you? And like, I didn't really get any of that. It was just kind of like, as soon as like they realized like you had been waiting a while, then they're like, oh, I can help someone over here. So I would say like the service was okay. Service wasn't necessarily outstanding service or anything. Not that I was expecting outstanding service, but I'd say for that reason I give it a 3.
Okay.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was rude. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a terrible person. Anyways. Service, I give it a 3.
Well, okay, so like the manager guy, or supposed manager guy, he wasn't really approaching me a whole lot. He was approaching you more so than me, but that's not really anything here nor there.
Yeah.
I'm bad with words, guys. Okay, so anyways,
engaging content.
I have to cut some of this audio because I'm just rambling, blah 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 blah.
Were they helpful?
Yes, they were helpful.
Okay. Do you think like, did it feel like they wanted to help you?
Sort of.
Okay.
Like when I was standing in line at the hot bar / deli or whatever, they were pretty good about being like, hey, I can get the next person over here. But like when I said that I wanted a Cuban sandwich, the guy who took my order was just like, oh, okay, you want a Cuban. Like, he was expecting me to get something from the hot bar, and he was disappointed that I didn't get something from the hot bar.
Yeah, I did notice, like, because I waited because I was still deciding what I wanted, and you were in line, and you were like, I'll get a Cuban. He was like, okay. And he, like, just kind of, like, turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, is he, I don't know. I will say they were helpful when they needed to be helpful, but I don't feel like they went out of their way to be helpful. And I also feel like when they were helpful, the instructions were kind of unclear.
Yeah, because, like, after I had ordered my sandwich, I was, like, just waiting around. And then, like, it was after you ordered yours, and the guy was like, yeah, it's probably going to be a few minutes, so you guys can just, like, wander around,
yeah.
Right? And then they call my sandwich, they called like the Cuban, which I got.
Yeah.
But they didn't call yours.
Yeah, which it was really quiet over the intercom, but he was like, I got a Cuban sub at the hot bar, and that was like it or whatever. And then like we were still walking around, and Logan was like, "When are you gonna get your sandwich? I'm hungry," And I was like, "I don't know." He said it'd be a minute, and then I like walked by, and it was just like chilling up there, and I was like, "Well, how long has this been up here?" Like they did what they were supposed to. It also, like, that sort of place, and a lot of places like it feels like they're kind of used to their like 10 regulars who like come in knowing what to do and knowing what they want type of deal.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you've never been here before? What? Nobody comes here except for the 10 people that come here type of a thing. But so I gave it a 3. What are you gonna give it on your?
I think I'll probably give it a 3 too, just because of like how the interaction at the hot bar went.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like it was okay, sufficient. Again, like when I go to Yums or like something like that, there's like someone who's just like shouting at you from behind the counter. But like it wasn't like that here, so it wasn't terrible. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't like above and beyond. Their service
was the literal definition of the word sufficient.
Yeah. So I think I'd probably give it a 3 as well.
Okay, so we got a 3 for service. Now, moving on to the food. So I'll let you, we'll put up pictures. We got pictures of the food that you got. You can let them know what you got, and then your drink as well.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing. It is a grocery store. I will say, just to add on to the service thing, it wasn't really super clear like what the options were or the prices of things for some stuff at the hot bar. A lot of it was on like a chalkboard, and I also noticed with the hot bar, a good chunk of like their menu for the hot bar, I didn't even see a menu anywhere for the hot bar. The majority of it was literally like dry erase markered onto the actual like glass pane of the thing, and some of it had like been wiped off and stuff, so it was kind of like I was like looking at the hot bar debating if I wanted to get anything, and I was like, I don't even know what half of this like casserole goop is. I'm like, I don't know that I want whatever this lunch lady's scooping over here. I was like, and I didn't see prices. Like they had the only paper thing they had was the Thursday lunch special, but it was like the Thursday lunch special is this. It's $8.99 from 11 to 1, and it's like 4 o'clock. So I was like, well, that doesn't pertain to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, your food.
I just got a full-size Cuban sandwich, not a half, a full size. It had like, I think smoked ham and like some kind of cheese and pickles and mustard and jalapenos. I think pickled jalapenos.
Yeah. I think it had some sort of like aioli and mayonnaise and jalapenos on there. We'll show a picture of it. And then obviously, like I think there were like meal options if we wanted to get like chips and a drink, but it wasn't super labeled very well, so we just ended up grabbing they have a bunch of like old-fashioned sodas and like a thing that you can get for like $1.99, so we just ended up getting like one of those to go with each of our subs. What did you get?
I got a organic blueberry soda.
Okay. And then for me, I got what was called the Smokehouse. It had ham and turkey and smoked Gouda, and then lettuce, tomato, and spicy mustard. I don't like spicy mustard, so I swapped out the spicy mustard for mayonnaise, and then I don't really care for the texture of lettuce on my subs, so I got it with no lettuce, and no onions either, because I don't really like the texture of onions, because it's the same texture as lettuce to me. And then mine was on just a regular white, like, French roll. I also got a whole, one thing to note, yours was a hot sub. It was, like, really toasted. It looked like it actually had a decent toast on it.
Yeah.
And then for my drink, they had a bunch of old-fashioned sodas that I really like. Like, they had Cock and Bowl, which is it's a ginger soda that I love. They also had Ale 8th, which is really good. And I was tempted to get a cheer wine, But then I was like, well, I'm here and they got all these options. Why don't I get something I haven't had? So I got an old fashioned like apple soda, and it was actually really good. It was kind of like a discount version of Martinelli's. What would you rate your food?
Well, it was hot and it was fresh and it was tasty, so I would give it a 4.
Okay. I will say for mine, I'm gonna be brutally honest here because that's what this is. We're not here to sugarcoat things. We're here to tell the truth. My sub, the cold cuts were decent cold cuts. Cheese was decent. It's really thick. They had a lot of layers on there. Honestly, it was kind of a chore to eat. I will say, the bread was kind of chewy on mine. Mine was not toasted, and it also it didn't really feel that unique. And like, I'm sure maybe there's ways that it could have been, but like, I just feel like I work at Publix, and I just feel like, and this is not me being biased, but I feel like a pub sub would have been better. I feel like I could have gone to Jersey Mike's Firehouse and got a better sub. It was better than
Firehouse cap. Firehouse is...
He's a certified Firehouse hater, but we're disregarding that. It was better than Subway, I think, but like, I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of like, it was just kind of a boring sandwich, low-key, and maybe I could have gotten something better there, but I only have to go off of what I got, and I feel like I could have gone elsewhere and got the same sandwich and had it be like way, way better. Like, it didn't feel special to me. So, I'm honestly not saying this to be rude, but I'm going to give it a 2. I really just it wasn't bad, but it really wasn't that good either. I was just like, this is kind of disappointing. Like, I was expecting more. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting more. I was expecting something a little more gourmet. Like, it was made with boar's head meat, which boar's head meats are like good quality, but like, I don't know. Like, they use those at other places too. They use those at Publix, and it's better at Publix. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. You gave it a 4, you said, and I gave it a 2. That puts it in the middle at a 3 as the average. Now for the price. My sub and my drink was like $1.99. My sub was like $10.99. So with tax, it ended up being like 13 something. What about you?
I threw away my receipt.
Okay, I think yours was about the same, because if I remember, all of the subs on their menu were priced the same, and I'm pretty sure all the sodas were the same. As far as the price goes for what you got, what are you rating it? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it was a fair price for what I got, so I'd probably give it a solid 4.
Okay, a 4 for what you got. Now, I was tempted to get the same sub that you did, but I wanted diversity. I didn't want to get the exact same thing that you got, so we could get more experience off the menu. So maybe I should have gotten a better sub, and, who knows. But for $13, again, same thing I said in the food round, I feel like it could have been better. It wasn't bad, but if I'm going to be paying $13 for a soda and a sub, I want a good sub. Like, I pay $17 for a foot long at Jersey Mike's because I know it's really good quality sub. I pay, $10 for a good quality sub at Publix because I know it's going to be good quality. And I paid like maybe even $1 extra here, and it just, I don't know, it didn't blow me away. For the price, it's not bad for the size and the portion, but for the taste, it wasn't great. So I'm going to give it a 3, which puts it in the middle at a 3.5 on the price.
Gotcha.
And then, so we did the vibes. We did the food. We did the service. We did the price. We did check out the bathroom. You and I both checked out the bathroom. What are your thoughts on that bathroom?
It felt like a small country store's bathroom. Like, it was a little bit dingy. It wasn't like dirty from what I could tell. I don't know about like the So, like, okay, full disclosure, both of the bathrooms seem to be, like, just one room, single person.
It's a single stall.
Single occupier at a time. So, I went and used the men's room. He went and used the women's room. Really, it's just
a
it's
second
just a
bathroom. Yeah. There was nobody else in there.
Yeah, there was nobody else in there. So, I know that for the men's room, there's like a little like ledge on the wall, like at like floor height or whatever, and right next to the toilet, it was kind of like a little wall shelf or whatever, and there was like a couple bottles of cleaner on there.
Yeah.
It had like there was a mirror on the back of the door. Like I said, it just
it gave. I thought about this while I was in there, and I was going to say, like, you may or may not follow. It very much gives the same vibe as like your grandma's bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, you go to visit your grandma who's lived in the same house for like 50 years, and she's never like done anything to the bathroom, and it's been the same since like the 60s. And it's just a little dingy, and it's not like she cleans it, but it's not like it's still got that like wear and tear that it gets over the years type of deal.
Yeah, just like minus the cabinets that grandma's always had in the bathroom.
And it was a tight bathroom, I will say.
Yeah, it was small. It was like marginally bigger than airplane bathroom.
It was giving
size.
I feel like it was about the same amount of space as this car, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing too crazy. It was clean, but it wasn't like, oh, this is amazing. Like this ain't no Bucky's bathroom. It's better than a porta potty. It gets the job done.
Yeah, and there wasn't like any decoration,
and it wasn't really welcoming or anything.
It's a place to go and to poop.
It's not trying too hard. It knows what it is. It knows its place in this world. It goes, hey, you wanted to poop in the AC, you get to poop in the AC. So I give it a 2. It's a bathroom.
Yeah, I'd say 2.5 just to be a little bit generous, because like I said, it wasn't like anything horrendous.
Yeah, so it gets a 2.25.
Gotcha.
It was there. It had a sink. It had a toilet. It had walls and a door. Bathroom.
It works.
It works. So you total that up and then divide it by 5.
Divided by 5.
Because we rate 5 things. We rate the food. We rate the service. We rate the price. We rate the vibes. We rate the bathroom on a 5-star scale. And what do we have for the Apple Market?
For the Apple Market, it gets a whopping total of 3.15.
So it's very middle of the road.
Yes.
It doesn't, like, I say this in the nicest way I possibly can, and you may or may not agree with me. It doesn't feel like a place that I'm going to like, oh, we need to go out of our way to go here and get food.
Yeah, I will say though, they did have bread pudding, and that's not something that I can find at Walmart, so,
Yeah, they did have some neat, like, homemade, like, stuff there. Like, they had some, like, cakes and, like, take-home, like, cook at home, like, dinners, like, meal prep stuff that looked pretty interesting. So maybe we would try that in, like, a different video.
And they had, like, some exotic ingredients that you can't really find super readily at, like, some supermarkets.
So, like, maybe if there's, like, something there where you're like, oh, they make this incredible, like, chocolate cake, but overall, as far as, like, just the food and even the majority of the stuff in there, it was still just a regular grocery store. And from what I could tell, everything in there, it wasn't like it was crazy great prices either. It was just kind of like either slightly overpriced or just the same as anywhere else. So it's very middle of the road, very like, it is what it is. It gets the job done. If you're in the area, you need some groceries, you're hungry, you want something, go in. You're not gonna be thrown out. You're not gonna be served bad food. It's just it gets the job done.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and it doesn't try too hard. And honestly, there is a little bit of beauty in that. Like, not every place is going to be a 5-star, blow your mind. This food was incredible. We have to go out of our way to try this place. You know, sometimes you just want to go see old Carolyn Sue working behind the counter at the Apple Market and just, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's modest. It's not trying harder than it really needs to try. It's a decent little place. And with a score of 3.15, would you say that's a dine or a dash?
I mean, it's a dine. It's still above average. I mean, the absolute middle of the road that you can score on a 1 to 5 scale is a 3. So I would say if it's above a 3, it's a dine. If it's below a 3, it's a dash. That would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first place we've had that's gotten a score this low, and that's not a bad score. You know, I think you'd have to dip to, like, I would honestly say even for a dash, you would probably have to dip below like a 2.5 for it to be like an absolute, like, don't go there, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Apple Market, you know, it's not going to let you down, but it's also not going to lift you up either. It's just going to be there when you need it. I think that's a good way to, I think that's like the most wholesome way to put it. The Apple Market is there when you need it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, go to the description for literally everything you could ever need. My Instagram is there. Follow me at K_man_raps. Go listen to my latest single, The Discount Freestyle. I've got my 3rd studio album on the way. It's going to be crazy. I'm also working on a live show for this Christmas. Maybe you'll see Lemur there if, you know, that happens, you know. Yeah, and then go follow him. He's Lemerson over on Instagram. He doesn't really do much apart from, you know, me hanging out with me, you know. But, you know, what more could you want? 2 dumb idiots doing dumb idiot stuff. Thank you guys. Subscribe. You know the drill. Peace.